Good afternoon. We're going to do our weekly recap video of this week's trades. I finished the week 15 wins and 4 losses for a win rate of 78.95%, close to 80%. It was kind of a tough week to trade with elections and all the dramas surrounding it, so I didn't trade that much this week. I traded pretty light. So hopefully next week will be better. I mean, they just officially announced that Biden won. We'll have to see if that how the market reacts to that, and just trade accordingly. So, but we'll cover this week's trades. You can go on Twitter and you can look at the timestamps, and you can go on Discord and you can see them there too. Now, the first trade on Monday was SPY 327 puts at 943, which was right here. As you can see, it gapped up on Monday, Monday morning. Then when it got below this little area of the 329.70 area, I grabbed the puts right there. And they went from 88 cents to 105. So that was that little pullback. I figured this whole week was not quite what I was expecting, so that was one of the main reasons why I didn't trade as much. So next one was Apple. I only traded 3 trades on Monday, which I don't usually trade that much. Let's see, it's right there. Now Apple, I mean, SPY dropped and popped, and Apple just went up and tested the 200 EMA, which is the purple line. And oh, why is this not showing? Okay, hold on. Let me switch over to number 2. It's showing Amazon. There. That way I have the hourly and the 10-minute showing together. Okay. Now, SPY dropped and popped. Well, this popped and it dropped. So I went up to 200 EMA, rejected it, and I ended up grabbing 104 puts at 1037, which is probably right here. Yep, right there. I could have grabbed it up here on the rejection, but I just, on Mondays, I like to be a little more cautious. I think down here below the opening range candle at open was the way to go. So I grabbed it at 109. And when it broke 109, that's when I grabbed the puts. So they went from, the 104 puts went from 110 to 146 in this little drop right there. So I grabbed VIX. Now, this was my mistake number 1 for the day on Monday right here. Now, I grabbed VIX 50 calls at 30 cents for an election swing, and what happened was that I thought for some reason I had in my head that they expired on Thursday morning, not Wednesday morning, and the election is Tuesday night, so they would have expired before any volatility came in, which really none did. VIX got crushed, but in hindsight, I was thinking that Wednesday was going to be very volatile, and they would have expired in the morning. So after realizing that, I ended up selling them when it popped. So I got it at 30 cents and got out at 45 after I realized I made a mistake. So it does happen. As you can see right here, this was Monday. This is where it popped. I mean, look, VIX just got crushed. So on Tuesday, which was election day, I had UNP for a debit spread. Now I got it on the 29th, which was right here, right at 170. Now, as you can see, it was oversold. Let me see. I think what caught my attention to it was, let's see. I'm bringing it up on a different chart so I can actually see this. Yeah, it came out. It showed. Day I grabbed it, it was below 30 RSI, and that to me was just like, okay, I'm gonna grab it. So I did. So I ended up grabbing the UNP debit spread on October 29th, the 195 calls, and sell the 200s, and I got them at 97 cents, and I sold them at $1.65. In fact, they went up higher. I sold too early. I sold on the 3rd, which is right here. I sold right here, and yet they still climbed up. They were actually, the calls almost went into money. So that I sold on Tuesday. Now Tuesday I only took one other trade. It was a loss. It was the first loss of the week, and that was 105 puts on Apple right here. Make sure I got the day right. Yeah. Now I got the 105 puts at $1.70 at open now. I grabbed it right here because it's chopping, and I was looking, okay, if it breaks this level right here, the 109 area again, that because you see right here, it broke it and dumped, and I was expecting the same thing to happen, and it did really quickly. Then it popped and reversed on me, so I got out at 74 cents. So that was I mean, I did sell some at $1.13. I made a note of it on Twitter that I sold most of my position when it went red. Green, and I was expecting a bigger dump to down here, and it didn't. It just reversed. So the remaining ones I had were a loss, and the overall trade itself was slightly red. So it's a loss regardless if I even sold some for money. So that was Tuesday. Now Wednesday I took more trades. I took 5 trades on Wednesday. I took let's see, I took Disney. Now, I took, let's see, the 4th. Where is Disney? The 4th right here. Oh, no. This one right here. Is this the 4th? No. That would have been a good play. I was not paying attention at Disney. Let's see. 4th. Right there. I grabbed 129 calls at 61 cents. Oh no, this was the overnight. Okay, I got this. This was the overnight for the election swing. Disney, for some reason, I missed it. Yeah, I grabbed it at 2:59 on the 3rd, which was right here. Right here. Yeah, right in here I grabbed it. These were the calls I grabbed for to hedge the VIX, because I did grab another set of VIX calls, which I still have. Let's see if the volatility picks up next week. But I had VIX calls for the election, and I think VIX got smashed, obviously, and I'm still in those. And I had Disney calls to hedge against the VIX, because if the VIX jumps, it means the market dumps, and a lot of the stocks will dump too. So, but if VIX gets crushed, the stocks will go up. And Disney, I was assuming Disney would go up with it. And 99% of the time, when SPY gaps up, Disney will gap up too. So I grabbed it right here. And I did sell a few. I unloaded some in here. I think it was around 85 cents. I'd have to look, but it was around 85 cents. I unloaded some to reduce risk, and I held some over the night. Now, SPY jumped up quite a bit. I'll show SPY first. I'm going to get to SPY, I guess, eventually. See, this is the 4th right here, the 3rd and the 4th. See, this is the 3rd. SPY gapped up from 337 to 340, 341 area, and Disney did not gap up with it. In fact, Disney dropped, which I was very surprised to see that happen. I think this is it right here. Yeah. So it did drop open, but it did pop. So they did go from 61 cents to 86 cents overnight if you held it overnight, which was my intention. But I'm glad I did sell some, and I did actually get out green. So that did work out. I was not too happy to see SPY gap up so much, to see Disney down and open. So that did not start out very well. Then I grabbed, let's see, I had SPY puts quite a bit that day. Let's see, the 4th, yeah. I was not expecting SPY to jump to gap up as much as it did on because at that point in time, Biden looked like he was going to be the president, or the votes were in his favor, or was heading in that direction at that point in time. So I grabbed 336 puts, 89 cents right at open because it was coming down, and right when it did, I grabbed them right there and right at open. So I grabbed them right up around 331. They went from 89 cents to 122 in that little drop. And I didn't want to buy the breakout there. I just, for some reason, I just felt like a trap. I really thought that the market was going to dump on Biden potentially being president at that point in time, which we know now it's official. But at this point in time, we didn't know. The votes were tallying in his favor. So I just did not feel comfortable buying the breakout, and it just took off. So that was a couple of things that I did this week that I felt hesitant because I just didn't think that the price action justified what was happening, and I should have just ignored that and just played the chart. But it is what it is, and nothing you can do about it. So then I ended up grabbing SPY 343 puts at 1029, which is right here. I grabbed it right on this little dip right here, and they went from 99 cents to $1.40 on this little drop right there. So I just, even though I was buying puts when SPY was going up, my timing on Wednesday was just impeccable. It was crazy. Friday it was not, but Wednesday it was. So then I grabbed the 343 puts again for the second time, which would be the third time I played puts at 1107, which I believe is right here on this, because it like double topped and it started coming down. I grabbed it right there. I grabbed them at 79 cents, and they went from 79 cents to 112 just in this little pullback. And then I ended up grabbing the 346 puts. Well, the thing I noticed, it was having an ascending wedge right here. If you draw a line right there and it's making higher lows, it's making an ascending wedge, meaning it's going to break out. So I was aware of that it was potentially forming. You got to understand, you got to look at the things and say, okay, this could be forming. You got to try to look at to what's going to possibly happen. I know it's easy to look to the left and see what has happened, but you also got to try to predict what's going to happen to the right before it happens. And it kind of looked like it could pop a little more. I didn't think it would, but I mean, the way the day was going, I would be surprised, and it did squeeze a little more. So I then grabbed the 346 puts at 1245, which I believe was right here. I grabbed it right here. I was looking right there for like a false breakout and to come back down really quickly, but it popped back up. I was looking to go underneath right here, but it didn't come down. But right here, it made a red candle, and then it got below this little area of the 347, below 347. I grabbed it, and they went from 84 cents to 295 for a 200% move right here. So that was an expiration day, so the moves are greater on expiration days. And so yeah, then I had on the 5th, I had BABA, which had earnings. Let's see. BABA gapped up, then it just dumped. Then I grabbed the 275 puts at open, actually not open, at 938. I mean, the thing with the earnings, you got to give it at least 10-15 minutes for the prices to adjust, because the spreads will be bad and implied volatility will be high. Give it a chance to cool down, spreads tighten up. And I grabbed it at 86 cents. I actually had a really good fill, and they went from 86 to $1.92 right there. And then I had BA 1109 on Thursday, which was right here. As you can see, had resistance right here at the 157 area. It came up, and this white line is the previous day's close. It rejected, and so I thought, okay, a double top right there, it's going to reject, and it did. So I grabbed the 152.50 puts at 1109 at 70 cents, and they went from 70 cents to 80 cents to VWAP. So VWAP was the target. You always got to be cautious and know where the moving averages are, because the stocks react to the moving averages. The 20, the 37, the VWAP 200, they react to the white line, which is previous day close, and the orange line, which is the regression channel trend line. So, and BA is getting kind of disconnected from that, so I wouldn't be surprised if BA ends up dropping. So whenever price gets too far away from this orange line, we look, it gets too far out, it comes back down. It gets too far below it, and it comes back up. So I mean, you can just look at it on all time frames, and it just see it does it here, comes back down, tests it. I mean, this thing is just, it's just gold. Okay, so the last one was SPY on Thursday. Now I grabbed SPY at let's see, 250, 236, which is probably right here. 236. Where are you? Right here. Right, pushed through VWAP. They went from $1 to 122 right there. That pushed a little through VWAP. So they went from $1 to $1.22. And it wasn't too bad. A lot of scalping galore on this week. It's just I was not too comfortable holding things. Now yesterday, I just did not do well. I had an Apple. I was holding on Apple puts. Now I got to figure out what day I actually had it. It was 11/4. I had Apple puts, which was right here. What time was it that I had it? I'm looking in the Discord room. It doesn't say the time, but I think I grabbed it. I grabbed it right here. I think it was right in here or right here. I grabbed it right in this area somehow, and I was hoping it was going to gap down because it was up quite a bit, gapped up. And so I thought it would come back down. It didn't. So I ended up holding on to that, thinking it would recover, and but it didn't. So. Hold on a second, just looking at something in the room. Now I end up, let's see. I had Netflix puts at open. Okay, let's bring Netflix up. I shouldn't have held Apple, but I was hoping it would recover, but it just didn't. It wasn't in it that long. I mean, it didn't have that much in it. I can't even talk right, but Netflix, I had it open. Now, as you can see right here, this was Thursday after hours, and it gapped down, came back up, filled the gap. Then once it rejected, I ended up grabbing the 500 puts at 88 cents, and the spreads were really nasty. I got a really good fill for some reason. I was just clicking and clicking. I tried to get into the 70s. And I couldn't get in it, so I did get a good fill. So they went from 88 cents to $2.60 in this little drop right there because it was Friday, expiration day. I mean, it doesn't take much to make these things skyrocket. That's why I love Fridays. I ended up finishing Friday with 3 wins and 3 losses, so I did not do well on Friday. Apple was the first loss, which I held for a couple days. So then I grabbed Tesla. I grabbed 435 calls at, let's see, what time did I grab those? 9:53, which is right here. Now, I remember grabbing, I think I grabbed it in this candle right here, and it started to drop down, but it recovered. So, because I was using the day before, I see right over here, this was the low of this candle. And you get pre-market lows right here. Is this pre-market? Yeah, pre-market 4 o'clock in the morning. So it was holding this area, this 426 area. As long as it stayed above 426, I was okay. 424 was the actual area that it needed to hold, and it was wicking off that. But the more it stayed over 426, the more I was comfortable with it, so I held it. So even though they did go down quite a bit, they went down to like 80 cents, but it's Friday lottos. That's what the name of the game is. It's how you play lottos. Just except I didn't call it a lotto. It was on the thing, but it's a lotto. Everybody knows on Fridays it's lotto. So they went from $1.54 to $2.12 right there. I mean, Theta ate it a little bit. It probably would have gone a lot more. Probably would have gone to probably $3 if it didn't chop in here just a tiny bit, just a slight bit of chop. Just theta kills it, so we just have to deal with it. Roku was the next one I had. I had Roku puts at let's see, at 1031. I can tell you exactly where that is. It's right here. Now you get this from earnings. You get the high of the 252, and when it wicked right here, it started to come back down. That's where I grabbed it. So they went from 75 cents to 91 cents right there. So I did grab that. Then I am grabbing SPY. This is my second loser, SPY puts. Let's see, what time did I grab those? At 10:59, which is probably right here. Yeah, right in here. Now there was a big red candle. Something that Pelosi came out and said something. Big red candle, and so something news came out with stimulus not happening, or it's gonna be smaller, or it's not gonna be as much. And it's like, okay, Pelosi, red candle, stimulus not happening. Boom, it's gonna be an easy put play, and it didn't. It popped back up really quick, and it chopped and destroyed it. So that was loss number 2. Then my third loss, which wasn't too much of a loss because I ended up getting out most of it. I grabbed Roku again. I grabbed it at let's see, 11:45, which I believe is right here. Yeah, right here. As you can see, it's kind of got like a little left shoulder right here ahead, and it was making a little right shoulder. So I was watching it for a big dump right there to VWAP, and it didn't happen. So I got it at 80 cents. I did sell some at 94 to reduce risk, and it just chopped and destroyed it. So the remaining shares ended up turning it red. So it was slightly red on that one. So that was the third loss of the day, which is the fourth loss of the week. Like I said, it was very difficult to trade this week with the election. What I thought was going to happen didn't happen. The reverse happened, and I just traded accordingly, traded small, traded cautiously in and out, and hopefully next week will be a little better now that the elections is behind us, and we'll have to see what happens next week. And so that's going to do it for the weekly recap. I hope this has helped and brought some perspective of what I did, why I did it. And I did make some mistakes, some unnecessary things I shouldn't have done, but it is what it is. You just don't know until after the fact that it was something dumb. So that's going to do it. Thanks for watching.